But actually, before I explain, because yesterday we made the great offense of doing a short in Mangal Charan, I will not do that today. But actually, before I explain, because we'll do it right away. So
Put it up on the TV.
no, I don't really particularly want to do that. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can take this.
Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vidati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupang Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitangsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Abja Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Kalpativishya Kripa Sindhudevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhaksita Deshutarine.
Right. I've been practicing the first verse of the Bhagavatam still. Do you know it? Yeah. Janmad yasya yaton vayadi tadatas charteshva vigyasvara tene brahma hridaya adi kavaye muhyanti yatsurayaha tejo vadi mridang yatha Vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha damnasvena sada nirasta kuhakang satyang parang dimahi. So that's very nice. So we can remember about Krishna. He is the source of birth, maintenance, and destruction in this world. He is directly and indirectly aware of the, fully cognizant of all of the purposes of all of manifestation, and he's fully independent from them all. He imparted the Vedic knowledge unto Lord Brahma's heart, the first created being, and then he also is bewildering all the great sages and the demigods, and just like the effect of mirages, or if you're on water, you can see land on water, or if you're on the road, you can see in the fire from the sun on the road, you can see land on the road, or like a mirage or water or something like this. So just as you see the elements within each other, he's bewildering us to also see the actions and reactions of this world, composed of the three modes of nature that appear to be factual. And then his transcendental paraphernalia and he himself, they're self-sufficient and always, eternally, and free from illusion completely. So on that supreme truth that we should meditate. So, actually was meditating on another verse that I was told Nityananda Prabhu, when Lord Chaitanya found Nityananda Prabhu, he chanted this verse, so it's nice. It's, what is it? What's that? That's not the one I was thinking of. It goes, Varhapidang Natavaru Vapuhu Karnayo Karnikaram. And then it goes, Bipradvesha Natavara. No. Oh, Bipradvesha Kanaka Kapishang Vajayantim Chamalam. Then Randran Venoradara Sudaya Purayan Gopa Vrinde Vrindaranyang Swapada Ramana Pravishad Gita Kirtihi. So this one's describing Krishna, what he looks like. So he's got the Barhapidam, he has the crown of peacock feather in his crown. Nata Vara Vapuhu. Nata is like he's a dancer, and Vara, he's like a very skilled dancer. Vapuhu, so his body's moving like a skilled dancer. And then, what did I say? Karnayo Karnikaram. So in his ear, he has the yellow canara flower, like this beautiful flower in Vrindavan, is in his ear. And then he's Bipradvesha, he's wearing this, his garment, Kanaka Kapishang, which is like of a yellow and goldish color, like that yellow pitambara up there. And Vaijayantim Chamalam, and he's wearing the victory forest garland, made of all the nice flower garlands in Vrindavan as well. And then Randhran, the holes of Venor of his flute, Adara, Randhran Venor Adara, from the lips, Sudhaya are being filled with nectar. Purayan is filling up with that Sudha, with the Sudhaya, with that nectar. And then Gopa Vrindar, and the cowherd boys, all the cowherd boys around him. Vrindaranyam, and the whole Vrindavan forest, Swapada, by his feet, Ramana, everyone's enchanted as Pravishad, as him and the cowherd boys, they're entering, and they're all Gita Kirtihi, they're singing his glories. So this is just a description of Vrindavan. So anyway, these are some nice verses. Nothing to do with what we're reading today. Not nothing, but not the subject matter of what we're reading. But I've been chanting them in the shower. So, where are we right now? O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari incarnated himself as Lord Sri Krishna just to unload your heavy burden, and all his activities here are transcendental, and they cement the path of liberation. You are now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in their absence. So that was where we left off last time. How unfortunate we could feel if we experienced the Lord, and then he goes missing. And why does he go missing from us after we experience him? It's to give us that final taste and desire that we want nothing else. We chant every day with Yugayitam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virhiname. Yugayitam Nimeshena, a moment is feeling like 1,000 years. Chakshusha Pravishaitam, there's tears are streaming from my eyes. Shunyayatam Jagat Sarvam, all of the world just feels empty. Govinda Virhanami, in your separation. So this is actually how the Mother Earth is feeling right now. And actually, you'll see it in your life. There's really the greatest misfortune that we have, any living entity has, is being bereft of sadhusanga. If you somehow or other find yourself bereft of sadhusanga, I'm going on this endeavor now, or I'm doing this, and now you have no sadhu sangha, you should feel, oh my God, the greatest misfortune has come upon me, actually. Why? Because sadhu sangha, who do the sadhus have? They have Krishna. So in sadhu sangha, we can associate with Krishna via his holy names, his forms, and charitati, his pastimes, and character, and qualities, so on. But if we don't have sadhu sangha, we're finished. So similarly, for those who are topmost sadhus, who actually have direct darshan and relationship with Krishna, it's the worst thing when Krishna is away from them. But even if Krishna is away, then even the topmost devotees, the topmost, they don't even want just Krishna alone, and they'll only accept Krishna as long as he's with his most dearly beloved object, Pranaya Vasiti, which is Radharani. Anyway, we're teaching beginning Bhagavatam, so I don't know why I'm speaking on these things. But these are some of the progressions of the devotee may feel in separation from Krishna. It only can be intellectually approached from us, but one day maybe we will develop such affection. So, let's read this verse. Idang mama chakshvatavadi mulang Vasundarayena vikashitasi Kalena vate balinang baliyasa Surachitang king hritam ambasobagam Idam, this, mama, unto me, achakshva, kindly inform, tava, your, adhi mulam, the root cause of your tribulations, vasundare, a reservoir of all riches, yena, by which, vikarshitasi, so reduced to much weakness, kalena, by the influence of time, va, or, te, your, balinam, very powerful, baliyasa, more powerful, sura architam, adored by the demigods, kim, whether, hritam, taken away, amba, mother, soabagam, fortune. Mother, you are the reservoir of all riches. Please inform me of the root cause of your tribulations by which you have been reduced to such a weak state. I think that the powerful influence of time, which conquers the most powerful, might have forcibly taken away all your fortune, which was adored even by the demigods. So this is also very nice. The powerful influence of time takes away everything. Sometimes one day you have money, next day you don't have money. One day you have, a nice relationship, next day you don't have a nice relationship. One day the job is secure, the next day the job is not secure. One day you have a means of livelihood and a clear path, like the Indian boys. Oh, we come to America, we work, everything seems proper. And then the next administration, it doesn't seem like that anymore. So time is, takes away everything. And it might have forcibly taken away all your fortune, they were saying. Which it did, because then Krishna, as the time sets for him to set, just like the sun sets in due time, Krishna had to move on and left Mother Earth. So by the grace of the Lord, each and every planet is created fully equipped. So not only is the earth fully equipped with all the riches for the maintenance of its inhabitants, but also when the Lord descends on the earth, the whole earth becomes so enriched with all kinds of opulences that even the denizens of heaven worship it with all affection. So we're not trying to go to like a certain place. We're not trying to go to heaven. We're not trying to go to hell. We're not trying to go this, that. We're trying to go to wherever the Lord is. And wherever the Lord is, it's better than the highest levels of different heavens and things. A lot of people, some trivial understanding. It's not like inherently Christian or anything, but because it's not taught by Jesus at all. But a lot of people romanticize and fantasize about what heaven's like. And, I hear some people say, if their relative dies, he's having a beer and cheeseburger in heaven. I know he's sitting down at the bar in heaven. Heaven has these mundane bars that you're thinking about selling cheeseburgers and things like this. Anyway, no, it's funny, but this is not not what's described. But anyhow, we're not trying to go somewhere to enjoy. Oh, I want to go to heaven and enjoy. Like some people, they romanticize him. Oh, he's going to be sitting by the beach with, mostly drink. I hear these Western people, they just romanticize drinking in heaven. Like, why do you think you're drinking this disgusting alcohol that's present in this world? That's going to go on in heaven. If there is intoxication in heaven, somaras, but it's very tasty. It's not like this crappy beer and all the things people drink here. But anyway, I always hear them romanticize heaven, and what it is just they think that whatever standard of enjoyment they can imagine here, they think it's like that. Bam, But anyway, this is just due to their lack of understanding of what's really, really available in heaven, and the ultimate thing that's available in the transcendental world is the Supreme Lord. So no matter where the Lord is, that's the best place. So if the Lord comes here, this is the best place to be, and He does come here. And if you're so fortunate where you get to be where the Lord is, and the devotee, the goal isn't to, I want to go to paradise and the heavenly opulence there. We don't care about our enjoyment, actually. That's what it's supposed to be, an actual devotee. Someone who's practicing pure bhakti, they don't care about their enjoyment. They care, like, how can I go be where the Lord is and please the Lord? Or please those that please the Lord, and which is even more pleasing to the Lord. That's a whole nother tier of existence. So anyhow, the earth, because the Lord was here, was just enriched with all kinds of opulences that even the denizens of heaven worship it with all affection. But by the will of the Lord, the whole earth can at once be changed. He can do and undo a thing by His sweet will. He's Janmati Yasya. He's the one who's doing all of it. Craig, Hare Krishna. It should be mandatory that you come the day after a program, because we always have so much extra prasadam that needs to be eaten. So, I'm very happy.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I said it should be mandatory that you come the day after a program. You always have to be here in the morning, because there's so much prasadam that has to be eaten. So, and we need your help, so.
I end up throwing it out.
Yeah. So, but by the will of the Lord, the whole earth can at once be changed. He can do and undo a thing by His sweet will. Therefore, no one should consider himself to be self-sufficient or independent of the Lord, which is described, He's the Lord is described as Him and His associates and paraphernalia are described as Svena in the first verse of Bhagavatam. They're self-sufficient, and He's described as Swarat. He's independent. But we're not Svena, nor are we Swarat. We're not independent, we're not self-sufficient. We only can do anything by the Lord's sweet will. So this is why Mother Earth is lamenting, and this is why all misfortune is coming. It's ultimately due to the Lord's will. And are we lining up with the Lord's will? That's a whole nother thing. So let's see, Mother Earth Dharma he just questioned Mother Earth why she's feeling upset, and he gave all the reasons, and then eventually he came to the proper reason, which is because the Lord is now left, and all of the, your wonderful opulence, which in association with the Lord is present, is now no longer there. And you see this even in my life. I have literally no material qualifications. I'm a college dropout. I don't have any trade skills or anything like that, practically anything. I have maybe some personal training or yoga teaching I could do, but there's no path in that for me. Anyway, I have no material qualification, but somehow or other, by just being in a place where the worship of the Lord is going on, my maintenance is happening and is actually better than it ever was before. Trying to develop skills and things like that I, I'll work this, I'll do this. I tried so many things and I got no success. But I just I'll just go to where the Lord is, worship the Lord, and do that. And then all of the maintenance is there. I'm not bereft of anything. So wherever the Lord touches is just a very blessed situation. Which is why it's necessary for devotees to always be wherever the Lord is being, wherever the Lord is present via His Nam, Rup, and Charitati, his name, form, and His character, pastimes, etc. So wherever that is, the devotee is always there. So let's hear. Dharanyuvacha Bhavan hi Veda tatsarvam Yanmang dharmanu prichasi Chaturbir vartaseyena Pade loka sukhavahai Dharanyuvacha. Mother Earth replied, Bhavan, your good self. He, certainly. Veda, no. Tat sarvam, all that you have inquired from me. Yat, that. Mam, from me. Dharma, O personality of religious principles. Anuprichasi, you have inquired one after another. Chatubi, by four. Vartase, you exist. Yena, by which. Padai, by the legs. Loka, in each and every planet. Sukha avahai, increasing the happiness. So just back to what's actually happening here. The demigoddess of the earth in the form of a cow, and the demigod of Dharma, religion, in the form of a bull, are having a conversation, and they're being also, the bull is being whipped by Kali, you could say Asura of the approaching influence of the age. And this is figurative, and it also is said to be, at the literal platform of what's happening with the deities. But anyhow, let's read. The earthly deity in the form of a cow thus replied to the personality of religious principles in the form of a bull, O Dharma, whatever you have inquired from me shall be known to you. I shall try to reply to all those questions. Once you too were maintained by your four legs, and you increased happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. Purport. The principles of religion are laid down by the Lord Himself, and the executor of such laws is Dharmaraj or Yamaraj. Such principles work fully in the age of Satya Yuga. In the Treta Yuga they are reduced by a fraction of 1/4, in the Dwapara Yuga they are reduced to 1/2, and in the Kali Yuga they are reduced to 1/4, gradually diminishing to the 0 point, and then devastation takes place. Happiness in the world depends proportionately on the maintenance of the religious principles, individually or collectively. The best part of valor is to maintain the principles despite all kinds of odds. Thus one can be happy during the span of life and ultimately return to Godhead. So, Mother Earth is saying, once you too were maintained by your four legs, and you increased happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. This is the nature of Dharma. It's said in the Mahabharata, if one protects Dharma, Dharma will protect you. So this is why, so many interesting things, vows and this, that, and the other. People are always acting in really compromised situations, always trying to protect Dharma. Yudhishthira gambled away everything to try to protect Dharma. You see so many great, personalities. Ram, Sita will go to the forest, the Pandavas go to the forest, everyone's just trying to protect Dharma. And then eventually having to go to war and so on. Why? Because Dharma is what can increase happiness all over the universe. So in your life, if you're interested in increasing happiness all across your life, you just protect Dharma. This is the thing. But Satya Yuga, there's full Dharma available. Treta Yuga, there's 3/4 Dharma available. Dwapara Yuga, there's half Dharma available. In this Dwapara Yuga and Treta Yuga, they're actually switched usually. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject matter. And then
I've noticed that some places one comes before the other.
Yeah, well, Dwapara, Dwi is 2, and Tri is 3. So it should be Dwapara second, but for this Yuga, there was a pastime happening where they wanted Lord Ram early And they didn't want to wait all the way to the third yuga, Treta Yuga, so he came. They moved the yuga up for him. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But in this Dwapara Yuga, or would normally be a Treta Yuga, it's reduced to 1/2, and in Kali Yuga, it starts at 1/2, and in Kali Yuga it starts at 1/4, and it'll gradually go down to 0. And when it goes to 0, the whole system has to be reset, turn the power off, and that's Kalki Avatar, and he'll come and destroy and kill the wicked and reboot. Yeah, it's no good anymore. So even interestingly enough, in the book of Revelation, the way that Jesus is said to come at the end of the age is exactly the same way Kalki is supposed to come on a white horse with a sword and ready, not coming by peace anymore, coming to destroy. So anyway, these are some interesting connections. But we are still here. We still have a little less than 1/4 available Dharma. We should try and preserve it and protect it as much as we can, and whatever small influence we have in our life. And that's a very good circumstance. And the highest Dharma is not following worldly Dharma, but Bhagavat Dharma. What does Krishna want? And that was why Yudhishthira, he had one slight imperfection where he couldn't overcome worldly Dharma over Bhagavat Dharma at one time, and that's why he was like, his chariot was levitating throughout the battle. He was like so pure and amazing. But when Krishna asked him to lie about Ashvatthama's death to bewilder Drona, Yudhishthira wasn't able to fully take that instruction. And as soon as he countered it by trying to preserve worldly Dharma, by admitting that Ashvatthama the elephant died, then his chariot hit the ground, and then that was it. And he had to see hell because of that. He didn't have to stay in hell, but he had to see hell at the end for that reason, because there is a higher Dharma. That's why Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Pratyajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Just abandon all Dharma and just surrender unto me. At some point you have to be willing to give up that, but only for a higher Dharma. So these are the qualities of such an age. I'll do 4 verses all in one. Repeat after me. Satyang shochang dayak shanti.
Satyang sochang dayak shanti.
It's interesting because Mukunda just did a class on pretty much all of these qualities of the devotees and the godly qualities, and now we're doing another class on the same thing. Tyaga santosha arjavam.
Tyaga santosha arjavam.
Shamodamastapa samyang.
Shamodamastapa samyang.
Titiksho padati shrutam.
Titiksho padati shrutam.
Jnanang viraktir aishwaryang.
Jnanang viraktir aishwaryang.
Shoryang tejo balang smriti.
Shoryang tejo balang smriti.
Svatantriyang koshalang kanti.
Svatantriyang koshalang kanti.
Deryang mardavam evacha.
Deryang mardavam evacha.
Pragalbyang prashraya shilang.
Pragalbyang prashraya shilang.
Saha ojo balang bagaha.
Ojo balang bagaha.
Gambiryang steryam astikyang.
Gambiryang steryam astikyang.
Kirtirmano nahankriti.
Kirtirmano nahankriti.
Ete chanye cha bhagavan.
Ete chanye cha bhagavan.
Nityayatra mahagunaha.
Nityayatra mahagunaha.
Pratya mahatvamichadbir.
Pratya mahatvamichadbir.
Naviyanti smakarhichi.
Naviyanti smakarhichi.
Tena hanguna patrena.
Tena hanguna patrena.
Srinivasena sampratam.
Srinivasena sampratam.
Shochami rahitang lokang.
Sochami rahitang lokam.
Papmana kalinikshitam.
Mana kalinikshitam.
Satyam, truthfulness. Shocham, cleanliness. Daya, intolerance of others' unhappiness. So it's like compassion. Shanti, self-control, even if there is cause of anger. Tyaga, magnanimity. It's like generous and forgiving all in one. Santosha, self-satisfaction. Arjavam, straightforwardness. Shama, fixing of the mind. Dhamma, control of the sense organs. Tapa, trueness to one's responsibility. Hey. Samyam, indiscrimination between friend and foe. Titiksha, tolerance of the offenses of others. Uparati, indifference to loss and gain. Shrutam, following scriptural injunctions. Jnanam, knowledge or self-realization. Virakti, detachment from sense enjoyment. Aishwaryam, leadership. Shauryam, chivalry. Teja, influence. Balam, to render possible that which is impossible. Smriti, to find one's proper duty. Swatantriyam, not to depend on others. Koshalam, dexterity in all activities. Kanti, beauty. Daryam, freedom from disturbance. Mardavam, kind-heartedness. Eva, thus. Cha, also. Pragalbyam, ingenuity. Prashrayaha, gentility. Shilam, mannerliness. Saha, determination. Oja, perfect knowledge. Balam, proper execution. Bhaga, object of enjoyment. Gambhiryam, joyfulness. Stharyam, immovability. Astikyam, faithfulness. Kirti, fame. Mana, worthy of being worshipped. Ahankriti, pridelessness. Ete, all these. Cha-anye, also many others. Cha, and. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Nitya, everlasting. Yatra, where. Mahagunaha, great qualities. Prarthya, worthy to possess. Mahatvam, greatness. Ichadbi, those who desire so. Na, never. Viyanti, deteriorates. Sma, ever. Karhichit, at any time. Tena, by him. Aham, myself. Guna patrena, the reservoir of all qualities. Shri, the goddess of fortune. Nivasena, by the resting place. Sampratam, very recently. You know, we go to India, and we always we see Nivas, you know, like a hotel or an inn, and I didn't know what a Nivas is, and now I'm saying Nivasena is the resting place. So anyway, Sampratam, very recently. Shochami, I am thinking of. Rahitam, bereft of. Lokam, planets. Papmana, by the store of all sins. Kalina, by Kali. Ikshitam, is seen. Translation, in him reside, so in the personality of Godhead reside truthfulness, cleanliness. 3, intolerance of another's unhappiness. 4, the power to control anger. 5, self-satisfaction. 6, straightforwardness. 7, steadiness of mind. 8, control of the sense organs. 9, responsibility. 10, equality. 11, tolerance. 12, equanimity. Steadiness in mind. 13, faithfulness. 14, knowledge. 15, absence of sense enjoyment. 16, leadership. 17, chivalry. 18, influence. 19, the power to make everything possible. 20, the discharge of proper duty. 21, complete independence. 22, dexterity. It's like skillfulness. 23, fullness of all beauty. 24, serenity. Completely like peaceful. 25, kind-heartedness. 26, ingenuity. I think that's like really like brilliant, clever. 27, gentility. It's like a gentle.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but let me just double check. Social superiority as demonstrated by genteel manners, behavior. What's genteel? Polite, refined, or respectable. Yeah, like a gentleman. And 28, magnanimity, which is like generous and forgiving. 29, determination. 30, perfection in all knowledge. 31, proper execution. 32, possession of all objects of enjoyment. 33, joyfulness. 34, immovability. 35, fidelity. What's fidelity? I think it's like faithfulness. right?
Yeah. If you're
Fa-
infidel,
Yeah, faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief. Yeah, an infidel. They want to kill all the unfaithful. Okay. 36, fame. 37, worship. 38, pridelessness. 39, being as the personality of Godhead. 40, eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from Him. That personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all goodness and beauty, Lord Sri Krishna, has now closed His transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In His absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. And so I am sorry to see this condition of existence. Oh man, what a purport.
So in essence, though, I mean, it's these are all the qualities of Krishna, right?
Yes.
But qualitatively, we can be that as well, just not quantitatively.
Yeah, actually, if you came yesterday, Mukunda, he did a nice 3-verse Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, 1-3, all the qualities of the godly personalities. And pretty much many of these qualities are there, but, we in our minute fraction, we can also have these qualities. But actually, you'll see, anywhere that's related to Krishna, these qualities manifest, including in the devotees. So this is why, our two very important things is jana sangha, avoiding worldly association, and sangha tyaga, learning how to renounce that which is unfavorable association. Why? So that we can do didati pratigranati, giving and receiving, guyanga kyati prichati, revealing from the hearts, revealing our hearts and inquiring into the hearts of the devotees, and bhakti bhojayate, which is feeding and eating amongst the devotees. So really, this is only going to happen wherever the Lord is present. So these qualities manifest.
He left, though, these qualities were not.
Yeah, because He left, these qualities had disappeared practically from the earth, with maybe the exception of wherever the devotees are. But yeah, practically speaking, it was finished. He was here. The whole earth was manifesting. It was ruled by devotees, the Pandavas and so on. It was manifesting such wonderful qualities, and then all of a sudden, once Krishna leaves, then it became a very scary situation. So, I mean, you might even feel this in your life. You might be in a good environment around all devotees. I mean, sometimes you go to the Dham, or sometimes you get really good association, and you're like, wow, my devotional life is amazing. Everything is amazing right now in this personalities association, and then they leave, or you leave, or this, that, and the other, and then you're just like, my life is empty. Everything's terrible again. Why? Because that connection to the Lord is gone. So this happens. So even if it were possible to count the atoms after smashing the earth into powder, still it would not be possible to estimate the unfathomable transcendental qualities of the Lord. It is said that Lord Anantadev has tried to expound the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord with his numberless tongues. So Ananta Shesh has thousands of heads and thousands of tongues, which are always engaged in reciting the Lord's glories constantly. And that for numberless years together it has been impossible to estimate the qualities of the Lord. He has not been able to find the end of the wonderful qualities of the Lord. So this is what he does eternally. And he'll not find the end because the Lord is so magnificent. The above statement of the qualities of the Lord is just to estimate His qualities as far as a human being is able to see Him. But even if it is so, the above qualities can be divided into many subheadings. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the third quality, intolerance of another's unhappiness, can be subdivided into 1. Protection of the surrendered souls, and 2. Well wishes for the devotees. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord states that He wants every soul to surrender unto Him only. And He assures everyone that if one does so, He will give protection from the reactions of all sins. Unsurrendered souls are not devotees of the Lord, and thus there is no particular protection for everyone in general. For the devotees, He has all good wishes, and for those who are actually engaged in loving transcendental service of the Lord, He gives particular attention. He gives direction to such pure devotees to help them discharge their responsibilities on the path back to Godhead. By equality. 10. The Lord is equally kind to everyone. as the sun is equal in distributing its rays over everyone, yet there are many who are unable to take advantage of the sun's rays. Similarly, the Lord says that surrendering unto Him is the guarantee for all protection from Him. But unfortunate persons are unable to accept this proposition, and therefore they suffer from all material miseries. So basically, there's a couple things. Infinite qualities of the Lord. And on top of that, if we do break it down, like this verse broke it down, in each one there's many subheadings of there. And Prabhupada's just getting into the quality of the Lord, where the Lord's equal to everyone. But He's equal in giving the same mercy available for everyone. But if, like the sun is shining, but if I stay inside all day and don't go out and take advantage of the sunshine, I'm not taking the mercy of the Lord, even though I might see, it's shining. So similarly, everyone is given the opportunity to hear about the Lord, His grace, and the mercy of the Lord, and following His system. But many who are faithless, or they're too intoxicated with other things, and they don't want to go outside and take the sun's mercy, they don't have as much favor from the Lord. Even though He's willing, if they go outside and do the process of approaching Him, He'd happily give His mercy. But if you don't want that, He will not force you. But He's equal to everyone. So Prabhupada is giving that. And so those people who stay inside instead of getting the sunshine, they get material misery. And it's not like the Lord is giving them extra special punishment. He would punish anybody who stayed inside and didn't get His mercy. If you people go stir crazy if they stay inside too long. Oh my God, I just need to get out. Why? Because they're not going out and getting the mercy of the natural elements, or the Lord's natural mercy He's giving. So similarly, those who are intoxicated by selfish sensory pleasures, and why am I not happy? Why is this not? Why is my life not good? It's like, well, have you went outside and gotten the opportunity for the Lord's mercy? Because if you did, He'd give it to you. But if you're committed to not getting the Lord's mercy, because you focus on these things that can't give the mercy, then you can't be surprised. I don't understand why my skin's getting so pale, and I'm not getting tan. I'm not feeling. I'm vitamin D deficient, or this, that, and the other. Would you try going out in the sun? Going out in the sun. That's how you get those things. So similarly, if you want to be happy in this world, if you want to be happy, you have to go out and receive the Lord's mercy, following His Dharma and so on, hearing about Him, associating with His devotees, practicing the recommended activities, especially, Sankirtan, but, and then also developing conduct of those previously who have also surrendered to the Lord. So taking the same type of ruts and convictions that they take, and so on. This is the Utsaha Nishchaya Dharya Tat Tat Karma Pravartana Sangha Tyaga Sato Vrite. All of these things, if we do these things, we can absolutely expect the Lord's mercy. But instead, if we do the Atyahara Prayasascha Prajalpa Niyamagraha Jana Sangas Chalolyamcha, then Shadbir Bhaktir Vinashiti. Our bhakti will be destroyed and we'll be very unhappy. So these things are, this is what's going to happen. So even though the Lord is equally well-wishing to everyone, the unfortunate living being, due to bad association only, is unable to accept His instructions in total. In good association, you'll have no doubts. But in bad association, then they'll just give you a little doubt. What do you mean you're gonna just devote your life to God? Don't you know you have to work? Don't you know you have to do this thing, that, and the other? And then all of a sudden doubt will come. Why? You get bad association. Just like Kaikeyi, in the pastime of Ramayan, she loved Ram, she loved, had great association. But Manthara, because she was jealous because right now Kaikeyi is the top queen, but because ever since Ram was born, Kaushalya became the top queen because Ram is so beloved. So then Manthara was, threatened in her position, so she convinced Kaikeyi to do an abominable thing. This was all from the pastime of the Lord. Kaikeyi is a pure devotee, actually. But this is going to show us what bad association will do. Look at Karna. Karna is born of a demigod. He's one of the Pandavas. He has all the same good qualities potentially there that Kunti gave the Pandavas. But because he had the bad association, he had, basic laborer parents. And then after that, he got the association of Duryodhan and Dushasan and all these unsavory characters. He became corrupted. But he had the same pure lineage of the Pandavas. So association is everything. So we have to be very careful in this way. Where are we? He appears to be partial to his devotees, but factually the matter rests on the living being to accept or reject equal treatment by the Lord. The sun is shining for everybody, and the effects of staying inside away from the Lord's mercy are the same for everybody. Whether the devotee does it or the non-devotee does it, whoever goes out and takes the Lord's mercy, they will get the effect. Whoever tries to stay inside and do some other activity, they will also get the effect. So we have to be very careful. Okay, am I taking the Lord's mercy? He's giving it freely to everyone. It's not fair. Parth gets so much mercy from the Lord, but I don't get mercy from the Lord. Well, what is Parth doing to get the mercy from the Lord? It's not like he's partial and he only gives mercy to Parth. No, Parth is doing something to get the Lord's mercy that he's giving. So the Lord never deviates from his word of honor. When he gives assurance for protection, the promise is executed in all circumstances. It is the duty of the pure devotee to be fixed in the discharge of the duty entrusted to him by the Lord, or the Lord's bona fide representative, the spiritual master. The rest is carried on by the Lord without a break. So, pretty much, he's guaranteed to give his discharge give his assurance for protection. He'll never deviate from his honor. But it's our duty to be fixed in the discharge of that duty entrusted to him by the Lord, or the Lord's bona fide representative, the spiritual master. So if our spiritual guidance, they're relying on us for something, we have to do it. We have to do that thing. And we can be assured protection in doing these duties. But as soon as we, get some other idea, I need to do this now, and I need to do this, and now I have a baby, now I have this. I've seen in my life, we were thinking of taking a little bit of a lesser role here. And, because we wanted to give time, get a little more privacy, this, that, and the other thing. But I think the Lord is just like, nope, don't do that. You have to do you want my protection and blessings? Then do discharge your duty, your normal duty that you're supposed to do. And also take this duty too. So now we have all kinds of new duties. But this is, this is how we can assure our protection. And the rest is carried on by the Lord without a break. He'll cover everything you need. I intellectually know this, but then sometimes circumstances can happen. I don't know. Now I have this whole thing in my life. But now just be fixed in your duties that you've been given to you by your spiritual guides. And the Lord himself, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants Krishna consciousness spread to every town and village. Prabhupada has said the same. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has said the same. Wherever we are, we can help. So we're helping. We're trying. So the responsibility of the Lord is also unique. The Lord has no responsibility because all his work is done by his different appointed energies. But still he accepts voluntary responsibilities in displaying different roles in his transcendental pastimes. So he actually has his energies do everything. Like even here, I feel sometimes like you guys are like my energies, in some small way, and like so many things are being accomplished here due to Madhav's influence or Parth's influence or my wife's influence or something like this. And, I could say I'm the influence of my Guru Maharaj and he's the influence of Prabhupada and so on. And just see how the influence is going on everywhere. But still the Lord comes and he takes very unique roles with the devotees. So as a boy, he was playing. He doesn't have to do any of it, but he does it for their pleasure. As a boy, he was playing the part of a cowboy. Not like like a Western movie cowboy, but like actually like tending cows. As the son of Nanda Maharaj, he discharged responsibility perfectly. Similarly, when he was playing the part of a Kshatriya, as the son of Maharaj Vasudev, he displayed all the skill of a martially spirited Kshatriya. In almost all cases, the Kshatriya king has to secure a wife by fighting or kidnapping. This sort of behavior for a Kshatriya is praiseworthy in the sense that a Kshatriya must show his power of chivalry to his would-be wife so that the daughter of a Kshatriya can see the valor of her would-be husband. So there was like a interesting romance back then for Kshatriyas where, if you can go and conquer her family and take her from her family, it was like romantic. Like Krishna's doing right there in that photo on Craig's nice art book. He's stealing the Rukmini. She literally wrote a letter begging for him to steal her.
Yeah,
But
it depended on who.
yeah, but
She asked it. A lot of them just came in and swooped.
yeah, but still, Bhishma came in and he took Amba and Ambika, but they were they were romantically like charmed, and they really wanted Bhishma to take them as wives, but then he couldn't, and so on, and then it was a whole big, problem. So anyhow, what can be done? So the Kshatriya ladies like that. If you could conquer, if you were, if you had this quality of a Kshatriya, you were a great conqueror, Anyway, so Krishna, the Swayambhava ceremony, it's about competing for the woman, and they like it, Actually, you see, even in today's age, if you're approaching a woman doesn't like. It's pretty much whoever puts the most effort, the woman will eventually choose. Eventually, whoever is putting the most effort, eventually the woman will choose that person. But do you want to put the effort? Is it worth putting the effort? That's a whole nother consideration. But but Krishna did that. Krishna, when he was in the role of a Kshatriya, he did all of these things.
So did Lord Ram.
In Ram, he did all these things. So he's a perfect example. Even the personality of Godhead, Sri Ram displayed such a spirit of chivalry during his marriage. He broke the strongest bow, called Hara Danur, and it's Shiva's bow, and achieved the hand of Sita Devi, the mother of all opulence. The Kshatriya spirit is displayed during marriage festivals, and there is nothing wrong in such fighting. Lord Sri Krishna discharged such responsibility fully, because although he had more than 16,000 wives in each and every case, he fought like a chivalrous Kshatriya and then thus secured a wife. To fight 16,000 times to secure 16,000 wives is certainly possible only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, he displayed full responsibility in every action of his different transcendental pastimes. I know he got 16,000 wives all at once in one grand fight in the Narakasura pastime. But just for Prabhupada to give, to show Krishna on a platform way above an ordinary human being. He displayed full responsibility in every action of his different transcendental pastimes. He gave every wife all the attention that they needed. I know myself, Krishna is able to give 16,000 wives all the attention needed. I know myself, I can't give the one wife I have all the proper attention needed, nor can I even give my one child.
Especially when you have kids.
Yeah. So now and then, even if I spend time with them, then I'm like, you know what? I didn't give my ashram duties the attention they needed, or I didn't give the boys the attention I needed. And I'm just failing short, or at every single place, and it seems impossible for me. But the Lord, He can perfectly balance everything. He can do everything. The 14th quality, knowledge. How long is it? Okay, we can do it. The 14th quality, knowledge, can be further extended into 5 subheadings, namely 1. Intelligence, 2. Gratefulness, 3. Power of understanding the circumstantial environments of place, object, and time, 4. Perfect knowledge of everything, and 5. Knowledge of the self. Only fools are ungrateful to their benefactors. The Lord, however, does not require benefit from. So those who are benefiting you in your life, it's very you'd be a fool to be ungrateful to them. Why even last night I sent Madhav a message because I was just reflecting. I was so behind on my rounds, and then giving time to my wife, giving time to Abhiram and everything, and then by the end of the day, I just really like recollected on all the things that Madhav did. Partha, you did a lot too, but Madhav, you were also in the lab. But Madhav did so many things yesterday, and I was like lamenting that, I should have slotted out time and made sure I was there to help him and all these things, but he just does all these things. And I was just feeling grateful actually. So and my wife helped me even feel grateful. So because it's due to your guys' help, this whole place is running, and I would be a fool if I were to be ungrateful. So Prabhupada is saying, only fools are ungrateful to those who are benefiting them, the benefactors. The Lord, however, does not require benefit from anyone besides himself, because he is full in himself. So he's self-satisfied. He doesn't need anyone's anything. But he'll happily accept it because it's very pleasing when the devotee wants to serve. Still he feels benefited by the unalloyed service of his devotees. The Lord feels grateful to his devotees for such unsophisticated, unconditional service, and tries to reciprocate it by rendering service, although the devotee also has no such desire in his heart.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, so the Lord...
Unsophisticated.
Yeah, even though the devotee oftentimes, it's not like they have some grand way to serve him. Maybe they offer like a couple apple peels or apple slices or something like that. But because it's, from the heart, and the Lord, he also tries to reciprocate by rendering service. Even though the devotee actually doesn't, in his heart, he's not desiring, he's not doing a business transaction. All right, I got these apples, so again, the bank balance really needs to increase today, so here are these apples, it's not transactional. So the Lord will reciprocate by rendering service. The transcendental service of the Lord is itself a transcendental benefit for the devotee. So, Madhav, he very intelligently thanked me for giving the opportunity to serve last night after I thanked him. And, I was charmed by this because this is actually, this is the mood of a devotee. We should be honored to serve. We shouldn't be, we shouldn't be burdened by service. No, you're chanting Hare Krishna. The whole meaning is I'm calling out to you. Please engage me in your service, Prabhupada is saying. And then we get service, and then, oh my God, I have too much service and this and that. So anyway, the transcendental service of the Lord is itself a transcendental benefit for the devotee, and therefore the devotee has nothing to expect from the Lord. On the assertion of the Vedic aphorism, Sarvang Kalvidang Brahma, we can understand that the Lord, by the omnipresent rays of his effulgence, called Brahmajyoti, is all-pervading inside or outside of everything, like the omnipresent material sky, and thus he is also omniscient. As far as the beauty of the Lord is... so, I have to reread that. We can understand that the Lord, by the omnipresent rays of his effulgence, called Brahmajyoti, is all-pervading inside or outside of everything, like the omnipresent material sky, and thus he is also omniscient. So he's everywhere, and he's able to know everything. So Prabhupada's breaking down some things here of the different types of knowledge. Interestingly enough, gratefulness is a type of knowledge. That realization that, who is serving and helping you, this is a type of knowledge. And understanding the time, place, and circumstance. This is also a type of knowledge. And then ultimately the knowledge of the self. These are... And the Lord's perfect in all of these things. As far as the beauty of the Lord is concerned, he has some special features that distinguish him from all other living beings. And over and above that, he has some special attractive, beautiful features by which attracts the mind of even Radharani, the supermost beautiful creation of the Lord. He is known, therefore, as Madan Mohan, or one who attracts the mind of even Cupid. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu has scrutinizingly analyzed other transcendental qualities of the Lord and affirms that Lord Sri Krishna is the absolute supreme personality of Godhead, Parabrahman. So Prabhupada mentions a few things here. One, he attracts the mind of Radharani, he's saying the supermost beautiful creation of the Lord. She is actually our acharyas. This is our God, actually, is Radharani, believe it or not. And even Krishna is completely bewildered by Radharani and attracted to Radharani in every which way. But Madan Mohan means he's the one that's bewildering, attracting, enchanting. Madan is Cupid. Everyone in this world is attracted by Cupid. So everyone in this world is attracted by lust. At some point in this world, lust is, very, very prominent. But he's Madan Mohan. He's the one who could bewilder Cupid. That's why the devotee, it can be possible that one person who was once very lusty can somehow overcome lust. Why? Because even Krishna attracts even Cupid. All of the what do we sing every morning about the Cupids? His limbs can interchange. It's for his jubilation. No, it's Lord Krishna, he blowed his eyes, plays his flute deftly. A peacock plume makes his monsoon blue body more lovely. He charms a host of cupids with his unsurpassed beauty. So he's all of the cupids of every universe are very attracted to Krishna. He's that attractive. That's what Krishna means.
All attractive.
He's all attractive. So this is ultimately Madan Mohan is very. It's actually the what's called the Sambandha Jnana deity in Vrindavan. If you're going to try and elevate, the first deity one should visit is actually Madan Mohan. Why? Because we're here in the material world, and we're attracted by Cupid. Cupid's 5 arrows are plundering us. And, yes, oh my God, a woman's eyebrows move a certain way, or she says a certain thing, you're just you're caught. You're enchanted. And for a woman, it's a man. The man's, the way he says something, you're enchanted. Why? Because we're bewildered by Cupid. But Krishna actually bewilders Cupid. So Madan Mohan, if we go to that Madan Mohan, he is the one who can take us out of our being enchanted by Madan. Because so when we acknowledge that, this is the original Sambandha Jnana, of the relationship of us and the Lord. So, Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu has scrutinizingly analyzed other transcendental qualities of the Lord and affirms that Lord Sri Krishna is the absolute supreme personality of Godhead, Parabrahman. He is omnipotent by his inconceivable energies. He's all-powerful. And therefore he is the Yogeshwar, or the supreme master of all mystic powers. Being the Yogeshwar, his eternal form is spiritual, a combination of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. The non-devotee class cannot understand the dynamic nature of his knowledge, because they are satisfied to reach up to his eternal form of knowledge. I wonder what that means. The non-devotee class cannot understand the dynamic, or the active nature of his knowledge, because they are satisfied to reach up to his eternal form of knowledge. All great souls aspire to be equal in knowledge with him. This means that all other knowledge is ever insufficient, flexible, and measurable, whereas knowledge of the Lord is ever fixed and unfathomable. So all other knowledge will feel insufficient, flexible, it'll change, and measurable. It's finite. But the Lord is fixed and unfathomable. This knowledge is on another level. Actually, maybe he's listening, but we had Mr. Matt, who joined us yesterday. He was messaging me about Eckhart Tolle. He's the Power of Now guy, and he was glorifying him, and I was, Eckhart Tolle, he's okay, because he's not why? Because he's dealing in the knowledge of insufficient, flexible, and the measurable world, where he's saying some good things, no doubt, but it's not touching on that fixed and unfathomable knowledge of the Lord, which he himself is giving. As I was trying to tell Nestor this too, this boy, unfortunately, he, couldn't get through to him. But basically, you could have, you can read a book with a mundane author who's dealing with all kinds of defects, or the author can be God, who has perfect giving knowledge. Which book do you think will be better? It's obvious, it's the book authored by God, rather than, all right, Joe, Steve, this guy, just a random, author. What's he gonna offer you? He's not free from birth, death, disease, old age. You need to, that's why, when you read devotee books, you don't go back to reading like mundane literature anymore, because it's nothing in comparison. You have literally teachings given by like a perfect source of knowledge, and then you just like have like, I don't know.
Topmost authority.
Yeah, topmost authority versus like, I don't know, J.K. Rowling. It doesn't compare.
It's harder for like very well known philosophers like Plato and even like Socrates, and it's a And I think that was what the debate was more on that level, because they're accepted to some degree as like authority within society.
But still,
Joe Schmo.
But even they, most of the great philosophers, they attributed, they came to the conclusion of there must be a God. So that's the same thing. So no problem, follow their authority, and now we're just presenting, here's what God's teaching. But anyhow, yes, this is the non-devotee class, they're satisfied. They're satisfied in, to try and reach up to his eternal form of knowledge, or trying to discover it, That's what I think he's meaning, the ascending process. But we are not satisfied in trying to discover knowledge. We're very happy to let that knowledge descend upon us via the revelations of the Lord. So we read Bhagavatam, we read Bhagavad Gita, we read these amazing teachings from the Lord. Sorry, it's getting late. We have to go. Srila Sutta Goswami affirms in the Bhagavatam that although he was observed by the citizens of Dwarka every day, they were ever increasingly anxious to see him again and again. The living beings can appreciate the qualities of the Lord as the ultimate goal, but they cannot attain the status quo of such equality. This material world, the living beings can appreciate the qualities of the Lord as the ultimate goal, but they cannot attain the status quo of such equality. This material world is a product of the Mahatattva, which is a state of the Lord's dreaming condition in his yoga nidra, or mystic slumber in the causal ocean. And yet the whole creation appears to be a factual presentation of his creation. We just chanted this, right? Yatra tri sargo marsha. It's all appearing factual. This means that the Lord's dreaming conditions are also factual manifestations. He can therefore bring everything under his transcendental control, and thus whenever and wherever he does appear, he does so in his fullness. It's another far out thing. This whole universe is just like a dream of God, and we're just like in God's dream, and we make we're making such a big deal of God's dream, but actually, it's a dream, come back.
But his dreams are reality.
Yeah. Well, he can bring it to reality, but this material world isn't the reality. This is the you could say the sleep form of the Lord, in the yoga nidra, the covered consciousness. But actually, the real reality is his awakening state in the spiritual world. So it's. But because the Lord's so powerful, his dreams appear to be so reality. They're appearing factual, like it's said in the first verse of the Bhagavatam.
How does that work with Chaturmas then?
What?
If he's always in yoga nidra, Chaturmas is when he's sleeping, and then
No, that's Garbhadakshay Vishnu.
So who you?
Mahavishnu is always sleeping in the material world, and doing the yoga nidra, and he's creating the whole material world by his dreams actually. But then Garbhadakshay Vishnu, he has phases of, he sleeps during these 4 months and things like that. So anyhow, but that's a whole different scale down. So he can therefore bring everything under his transcendental control, and thus whenever and wherever he does appear, he does so in his fullness. So we're very interested in having the Lord dream nicely for us. Dream that which is in your service here, and then that would be very good for us. The Lord, being all that is described above, maintains the affairs of the creation, and by his so doing, he gives salvation even to his enemies who are killed by him. He is attractive even to the topmost liberated soul, and thus he is worshipable even by Brahma and Shiva, the greatest of all demigods. Even in his incarnation of Purusha Avatar, he is the Lord of the creative energy. The creative material energy is working under his direction, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9:10. He is the control switch of the material energy, and to control the material energy in the innumerable universes, he is the root cause of the innumerable incarnations in all the universes. There are more than 500,000 incarnations of Manu in only one universe, besides other incarnations in different universes. In the spiritual world, however, beyond the Mahat Tattva, there is no question of incarnations, but there are plenary expansions of the Lord in different Vaikunthas. The planets in the spiritual sky are at least 3 times the number of those within the innumerable universes in the Mahat Tattva. And all the Narayan forms of the Lord are but expansions of his Vasudev feature. And thus he is Vasudev, Narayan, and Krishna simultaneously. He is Sri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari, He Natha Narayana Vasudeva, all in one. His qualities therefore cannot be counted by anyone, however great one may be. So Prabhupada really took this purport. Even though all these amazing qualities of the Lord are presented, and then he said, actually, none of them can really be counted. It's an infinite amount of qualities of the Lord. And then ultimately, where you can't even fathom how great the Lord is. And he gave the example of how the Lord is dreaming this existence into reality. And when he's talking about the spiritual world, and that's just the material world. In the spiritual world, there's no question of incarnations. In the dream world, the Lord will incarnate but in the spiritual world, it's always factually existence. And they're what's called plenary expansions, or like parts of himself that go and like act as Nrsinga in a Vaikuntha planet, or act as Ram in an Ayodhya Vaikuntha planet, and so on. So Krishna expands himself in so many different features. But anyhow, Krishna's the supreme great. He is totally, abhigya swarat. He's fully cognizant, fully knowledgeable, and he's fully independent. And it's in our best, and he's swena, he's fully self-sufficient. So we really, it's in our best interest to surrender to Krishna. And if we do anything else, we're ungrateful fools, because, how do you think you have any benefit in this world? Anything that you have, it's all by the blessings of God. So to not realize that and not devote your life to serving that Lord, it's very ungrateful of us.
It's interesting how it's really all about the living entities, whether we're grateful, ungrateful, whether we're good receptacles, all that. Because Krishna is complete in himself. So it's not like we're having to help him do anything.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't need our service. We need his service.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But he reciprocates so nicely.
Yeah. I mean, he's the most grateful. He's so grateful for any service you give towards him. He's so grateful. But we're so ungrateful that we don't even recognize our good opportunity and that mercy that's shining through the window. Someone's telling about us somewhere, the glories of God, and we just say, no. Who needs God?
Draw the blinds.
Yeah, I don't need God. I got my sex, drugs, and rock and roll here. Anyhow, but poor souls. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All right, that